The Voss Imperial Citadel stood tall on the homeworld of the Voss people. Its walls shone like clear crystal under the twin suns. Tall towers reached into the purple sky. Inside the main hall, Princess Leorail Voss walked with quick steps. Her skin had a soft blue glow, like ice under light. Her long silver hair moved behind her like water. She wore a light robe made of shining fabric that changed color when she moved. Leorail was not happy. The Krell Dominion, a race of large insect-like beings, had started to attack the edges of Voss space. Their ships came in huge swarms. They took planets and left nothing behind. The Voss Council said they needed strong friends to fight back. Humans were new to the galaxy. Their worlds were small and far away. Many Voss nobles thought humans were weak. They had no big fleets or strong weapons like the Voss did. But the humans had said yes to an alliance. And, to make it real, they wanted a marriage. Leorail stopped in front of a large window. She looked out at the stars. "Why me?" she asked herself in a low voice. She was the youngest princess, but her family pushed her forward. "You are strong and smart," her mother had said. "This will help our people." Leorail knew it was true, but she did not want to marry someone she did not know. She wanted a warrior, someone brave and proud, not a stranger from a quiet planet. Her advisor, an old Voss named Kale, came up behind her. His skin was darker blue, and he had many lines on his face from years of work. "Princess, we have chosen a human," he said. "His name is Daniel Hayes. He works for their liaison office. He is calm and does not cause trouble." Leorail turned. "Calm? That is all? No rank? No battles?" Kale shook his head. "He was in their military long ago. Now he handles supplies and talks. He is normal. We do not want a loud human who will demand things." Leorail crossed her arms. "So I marry a boring man to save our empire. Fine, but he stays out of my way after the ceremony." Kale bowed. "As you wish, Princess." Far away, on Earth, Daniel Hayes sat at a small desk in a plain office. The room had white walls and one window that looked at a parking lot. Papers and screens covered his desk. He wore a simple gray shirt and dark pants. His brown hair was short. His face looked tired but kind. He did not smile much, but his eyes were sharp. Daniel had left the Special Forces 5 years ago. He had seen too many fights in dark places, too many friends gone. Now he liked quiet work. He checked lists of food and parts for spaceships. He answered emails. He drank black coffee from a plain cup. That morning his boss, a tall woman named Karen, came to his desk. "Daniel, we need you," she said. "For what?" Karen sat on the edge of his desk. "The Voss want a marriage to seal the alliance. They asked for someone, low-key. No big names, no show-offs. You fit." Daniel stared at her. "Me? Marry an alien princess?" Karen nodded. "It is mostly for show. You go there, stand in the ceremony, come back. Maybe stay a short time on their station. The Voss pay for everything, and it helps Earth get better trade." Daniel thought for a moment. He had no family left. No one waited for him at home. "What if I say no?" Karen smiled a little. "Then we find someone else. But you are good at staying calm. You do not talk too much. That is what they want." Daniel looked at his coffee cup. "Okay," he said. "I will do it." 2 weeks later, Daniel stepped off a shuttle onto the Voss homeworld. The air smelt sweet, like flowers after rain. The sky was deep purple. Tall buildings of crystal rose around him. Guards in silver armor stood in lines. They looked at him with cold eyes. Leorail waited in the great hall. She wore a long dress of white and gold. A thin crown of light sat on her head. She looked beautiful, but her face was hard. When Daniel walked in, she studied him. He was not tall, not short. His shoulders were strong, but he stood straight and quiet. No medals, no fancy clothes, just a dark suit. The ceremony started. Music played from hidden machines. Voss priests spoke in their language. Translators turned the words to English for Daniel. He stood next to Lyrael. She did not look at him. She kept her eyes forward. When it was time, they put their hands on a glowing stone. Light wrapped around their fingers. The stone hummed. The priests said the words of binding. Daniel repeated them in a low voice. Lyrael said them clear and strong. After, the hall filled with cheers. Voss nobles clapped. Some humans from the Earth group clapped too. Lyrael pulled her hand away fast. She turned to Daniel. "This is done," she said. "You will stay on the orbital station for 1 month. Then you can go home." Daniel nodded. "Yes, Princess." She looked surprised. "You do not argue?" "No need," he said. Lyrael frowned. She thought he would complain or ask for things, but he just stood there, calm. She turned and walked away. Her robe flowed behind her like a river. Daniel followed at a distance. Servants led him to a guest room. It was big, with soft beds and windows to space. He put his small bag on the floor. He sat on the bed and looked out. Stars moved slow. He thought about the day, about the princess. She was proud, beautiful, but she did not like him. That was fine. He did not need her to like him. That night, a feast happened in the main hall. Tables were full of strange food, bright fruits, meat that glowed a little, drinks in crystal cups. Lyrael sat at the high table. Nobles talked to her. They laughed and praised her. Daniel sat at a lower table with other humans. He ate little. He watched everything. One noble, a tall man with gold marks on his skin, leaned to Lyrael. "Your human looks weak," he said loud enough for others to hear. "Like a child next to our warriors." Some laughed. Lyrael smiled thin. "He is what we need. Quiet, no trouble." Daniel heard it all. His face did not change. He took a sip of water. He had heard worse before. Later, Lyrael walked past his table. She stopped for a second. "You do not speak much," she said. Daniel looked up. No need to speak when there is nothing to say. She tilted her head. Strange human. Most would boast or ask for favors. "I do not need favors," he said. Lyrael stared at him. Then she walked on. She felt something small. Not anger, not like, just interest. But she pushed it away. He was nothing. A tool for peace, nothing more. The next day they left for the orbital station. A big ship carried them up. Lyrael stayed in her private rooms. Daniel stayed in his. He read an old book on his tablet, about Earth history, about quiet men who did big things when no one watched. The station waited ahead, a ring of metal and lights in space, their new home for a month. Lyrael looked out her window. She thought the alliance would be easy now. Daniel would stay quiet. She would lead. Everything would be fine. She did not know yet. She did not know the man she married had fought in shadows, that he had faced death many times and walked away, that under his calm face was something strong, something the galaxy would soon see. But for now she saw only a reserved human, and that was enough. The orbital station floated in the black of space like a giant silver ring. Lights glowed from every window. Ships came and went through the docking bays. Inside, the air was clean and cool. Gravity felt just right, like on a planet. Princess Lyrael Voss stepped out of her private shuttle first. Guards in shining armor walked beside her. She wore a simple blue robe today, no crown. She wanted to look strong, but not too royal. Daniel Hayes followed a few steps behind. He carried only a small bag. His face showed nothing. No excitement, no fear. A Voss officer met them at the entrance. "Welcome to Station Harmony," he said. "Your quarters are ready. The honeymoon period starts now. 1 month of shared living to show the alliance is real. Lyral nodded. Show us the way. The officer led them down a wide hallway. Walls were smooth metal with soft blue lights. People from many races walked past. Some Voss, some humans, a few others. Everyone bowed a little when they saw Lyral. Their quarters were big. 2 connected rooms with a shared living area. One side for Lyral, one side for Daniel. Big windows looked out at stars. There was a small kitchen, a table, soft chairs, a training room with pads and weapons. Lyral looked around. This will do, she said. She turned to Daniel. You take the left side, I take the right. We share the middle. Do not come into my space without asking. Daniel nodded. Understood. He walked to his side, put his bag down, opened it. Inside were a few clothes, a tablet, and one old book with paper pages. He set the book on the table. Then he sat and looked out the window. Lyral went to her side. She had servants bring her things, dresses, weapons, data pads full of reports. She sat at her desk and started reading about the latest Krell movements. Her mind was on war, not on the quiet man next door. Days passed. She talked to admirals on screens. She planned defenses. She trained in the private gym. Her body moved fast. Her plasma blade flashed. She was good. Very good. Daniel stayed quiet. He made coffee every morning. Black, no sugar. He drank it slow while reading news from Earth. Sometimes he walked the station halls. He watched people. He listened. He saw how guards stood, how doors opened, how cameras moved. One day, Lyral came back from training. She was tired, sweat on her blue skin. She saw Daniel in the shared kitchen. He was fixing something small, a broken light panel from the wall. What are you doing? She asked. Fixing this, he said. It flickered. Bad connection. She watched him work. His hands moved sure and calm. No rush. In minutes, the light stayed steady. You know machines? She asked. Some, he said. I worked with them before. She made a small sound, not quite a laugh. Humans and their tools, always fixing. Daniel did not answer. He put the tools away. That night, there was a reception. Important people came. Voss nobles, human diplomats, traders from other worlds. Music played. Food was served on floating trays. Lyral stood tall. She talked to everyone. She smiled when needed. Daniel stood near a wall. He held a glass of water. He watched. A Voss lord named Torin came up to Lyral. He was tall. His skin had gold lines. He spoke loud. Princess, your human husband looks lost. Does he even speak our language? Lyral glanced at Daniel. He understands enough. Torin laughed. Good. We do not need him to talk, just to stand there and look human. More laughs. Daniel heard. His face stayed the same. Later Lyral walked over to him. You do not mind their words? Daniel looked at her. Words do not hurt. She studied him. Most men would get angry, or try to prove something. I have nothing to prove, he said. She turned away, but she felt strange, like he was hiding something, or maybe nothing. She did not know. A week later, trouble came. It started small. Alarms sounded in one docking bay. Guards ran. Lyral was in a meeting. She got the call. A Krell spy ship tried to dock. We stopped it, but one intruder got inside. She stood up fast. Where? Level 5, near the power core. Lyral grabbed her blade. I am going. Daniel was in the shared room. He heard the alarms. He saw Lyral run out. He followed slow, not rushing. In the corridors, lights flashed red. People ran. Guards shouted. Lyral reached level 5. The intruder was there. A Krell drone soldier, tall, covered in black shell, 4 arms with sharp claws. It had already cut down 2 guards. Lyral charged. Her blade met its claws. Sparks flew. She moved fast, dodged, struck. The Krell was strong. It pushed her back. More guards came, but the Krell was quick. It broke through. Then Daniel appeared, quiet, from a side hall. He had no weapon, just a small toolkit on his belt. The Krell saw him, laughed in its clicking voice. Soft human. Daniel did not speak. He moved to a panel on the wall, opened it fast, pulled wires. Lights dimmed. The Krell paused. Lyrael used the moment. She struck hard. Her blade cut deep. The Krell fell. She breathed heavy, looked at Daniel. You turned off the lights? Disrupted its sensors, he said. Krell see heat. No lights, less heat vision. She stared. How did you know? Read reports, he said. Simple. Guards came, took the body, fixed the damage. Lyrael walked back with Daniel, silent at first. In their quarters, she stopped. You acted fast. Needed to, he said. You could have stayed back. Could have, he said. Thank you. Daniel nodded. Welcome. That night, Lyrael could not sleep. She thought about him, the quiet man, the one she called boring. He had not bragged, not asked for praise, just did what was needed. She went to the shared room. Daniel sat reading his old book. What is that book? She asked. He held it up. Old Earth stories, about soldiers, about choices. She sat across from him. First time she did that. Tell me one. Daniel thought. Then he read a short part, about a man who fought alone. No one knew his name, but he saved many. Lyrael listened. When he finished, she said, Humans have strange stories. Daniel closed the book. They teach us things. She stood. Good night, Daniel. Good night, Princess. She went to her room. But something changed. Small, but there. She still thought humans were soft. Still thought the marriage was just politics. But now she watched Daniel more. Not with scorn. With questions. The month went on. More meetings. More training. More small moments. Daniel fixed things. Gave small advice when asked. Never pushed. Lyrael started to ask, What do you think of this plan? He answered short, clear, useful. She did not always listen, but she heard. One evening she came back from a long day. Daniel had made coffee, 2 cups, one for her. She took it, surprised. You made this for me? Thought you might want some, he said. She tasted it. Bitter, strong. Not like Voss drinks, but good. Thank you, she said. He nodded. Outside the stars turned. The station moved slow. The alliance grew, but something else grew too. Quiet, slow, between a proud princess and a reserved man. She did not know yet what he really was. A champion, a survivor, a man who had seen hell and come back quiet. But she started to wonder. And that was the beginning. The days on Station Harmony passed quietly at first. But the peace did not last. Reports came in every morning. Krell ships appeared near the border. Small raids, quick strikes. They tested the Voss defenses. They wanted to see if the new human alliance made any difference. Lyrael spent hours in the command center. Screens showed maps of stars and red dots for enemy ships. Admirals stood around her. They spoke fast. We must hit back hard, one said. Show strength. Lyrael agreed. Send 2 fleets to Sector 9. Push them out. Daniel was there too. Protocol said the husband must attend important meetings. He sat in a corner chair, quiet, listening. He wore his usual dark clothes. No one paid him much attention. One admiral turned to him once. Human, do you have thoughts? Daniel looked up. The Krell like swarms. They split and circle. Your fleets stay tight. That makes them easy targets. The admiral laughed. We have shields. Energy walls. They cannot break through. Daniel nodded once, said nothing more. Lyrael glanced at him. She remembered the spy incident. His quick hands, his calm words. but she pushed the thought away. This was war, not small fights in hallways. The battle came fast. Krell ships jumped in near a Voss mining colony, hundreds of them, small, fast, like angry insects. Voss ships met them. Lasers flashed, explosions bloomed in silence. Lyrel watched from the flagship bridge, her hands tight on the rail. "Hold formation," she ordered. The Krell split. Half attacked front, half went around. They hit the sides, shields flickered. One Voss cruiser lost power, drifted. Losses grew. Voices on comms shouted, "We need backup. Shields at 30%. Lyrel felt anger rise. Her people fought well, but the Krell were too many. Daniel stood behind her, still quiet. Then he spoke low, only she heard. "Use the asteroid field nearby. Hide half your ships there. Let them think we run. Then strike from behind when they chase." Lyrel turned. "That is old human tactic. Risky." "Risky is better than losing more ships," he said. She looked at the map. The admirals argued. No plan worked. Time ran out. She made the call. Change course. Follow the human suggestion. Half fleet to asteroids. Silent running. The rest fall back slow. Draw them in. The admirals stared, but they obeyed. It worked. The Krell chased the retreating ships. They spread out, confident. Then the hidden Hath came from the rocks. Fast, close range. They tore into the Krell rear. Explosions everywhere. Krell ships broke apart. The enemy pulled back, left the sector. Cheers filled the bridge. Admirals clapped Lyrel on the back. "Brilliant, princess." Lyrel looked at Daniel. He sat again, face calm, like nothing happened. She walked over. "Your idea," she said. "Just a thought." "You did not push it." "No need," he said. She felt something. Respect? Curiosity? She did not know the word yet. Back on the station, things changed a little. Lyrel asked Daniel more questions. About human wars, about old battles. He answered short. Never bragged. Never said I was there. She started to notice things. How he walked, always balanced, ready. How his eyes moved. Saw everything. How he never wasted movement. One night, she could not sleep. She went to the shared room. Daniel sat with his tablet, reading reports. "Why do you stay so quiet?" she asked. He looked up. "Habit." "From what?" "Old work," he said. She sat. "Tell me." He thought, then spoke slow. "I was in special teams. Earth military. We went places no one else could. Dark places. Hard fights. Many did not come back." She listened. "You did?" "Yes." "Why leave?" "Wanted quiet." Lyrel looked at him different now. Not as a weak human, as someone who chose silence. But the war did not stop. The Krell came again, bigger this time, a full assault on a Voss outer world. They wanted to break the alliance, show humans were useless. Lyrel led the defense fleet. Daniel came too, on the flagship. She did not ask him to stay behind. The battle was hard. Krell boarded 3 ships, fighting in corridors, blood and sparks. One boarding party reached the flagship. Krell warriors, big, armored, claws sharp. Lyrel fought in the main hall, blade flashing. She cut one down, another, but more came. A Krell warrior swung at her. She blocked, stumbled, her arm hurt. Then Daniel was there. He had no blade, just a fallen rifle from a dead guard. He moved smooth, like water. He shot once, hit the Krell in the eye joint. It fell. Another charged him. Daniel stepped aside, used the rifle like a club, hit the knee, then the head. Down. He did not stop. He cleared a path, shot, moved, shot again. Precise, no waste. Lyrel watched, mouth open a little. He fought like he knew every move before it happened. Guards joined, the boarders fell back. When it ended, the hall was quiet, bodies on the floor. Lyrael breathed hard, blood on her robe. Daniel stood near her, rifle lowered, breathing steady. She looked at him. "You saved me." "You were holding," he said. "No," she said. "I was losing ground. You were fast, clean." He said nothing. She stepped closer. "Who are you really, Daniel Hayes?" "Just a man," he said. But she knew now. He was more. The fleet won the day, pushed the Krell out again. News spread. The quiet human helped turn the battle. On the way back to the station, Lyrael sat with him in the shared room. No words at first. Then she said, "I was wrong." "About what?" "About you. About humans." He looked out the window. Stars moved past. "Many think that. I thought you were nothing, a token, a symbol." "I know," he said. "Now I see, you are strong, in ways I did not expect." Daniel turned to her. "Strength is not always loud." She nodded slow. "I am starting to learn that." The station came into view. Lights bright. Safe for now. But Lyrael felt different. The marriage was still politics. Still an alliance. But now it felt like more. A beginning. She looked at Daniel. His calm face. His steady eyes. She wondered what else he hid. What other battles he carried inside. And for the first time, she wanted to know. Not as a princess. As Lyrael. The war was not over. Bigger fights waited. But something between them had started to grow. Quiet, strong, real. The war reached its peak. The Krell no longer sent small raids. They gathered their full strength for one big push. Their target was Vara Prime, a key Voss colony world, rich in crystals that powered Voss shields and weapons. If it fell, the Empire would weaken fast. The alliance would break. Lyrael stood on the bridge of the flagship once more. Maps showed red waves moving toward Vara Prime. Thousands of Krell ships. Bigger ones this time. Carriers that dropped ground troops. She clenched her fists. "We defend it," she said. "No retreat." Admirals nodded. Plans formed. Fleets moved into position. Daniel was there, as always, quiet in his chair, watching the screens. Lyrael turned to him. "This time we fight on the ground too. I will lead the surface defense. The Krell will land. They always do." Daniel looked at her. "Dangerous." "I know," she said, "but I must show my people I fight with them, not hide in space." He nodded slow. "Then, I go with you." She stared. "You are not trained for this. Not like my soldiers." "I have been in worse," he said. Simple words. Lyrael fought back. The hallway fight, the quick ideas, the calm under fire. She felt something warm in her chest. Trust. "Fine," she said. "But stay close." The battle in space was fierce. Voss ships held the line. Lasers crossed the black. Explosions lit up the dark. The Krell pushed hard, but could not break through yet. Dropships slipped past anyway. They headed for the planet. Lyrael's shuttle landed on Vara Prime, near the main crystal mines. Dust rose around them. The sky was orange from two setting suns. Ground troops waited. Rows of Voss soldiers in silver armor, plasma rifles ready. She stepped out, blade at her side. Daniel followed. He wore simple dark armor now. No fancy marks, just practical. A rifle slung over his shoulder, a small pack. The ground commander saluted. "Princess, we have strong positions. Trenches, turrets. We will hold." Lyrael nodded. "Good. The Krell champion is coming. Their leader always sends one. A monster bred for single combat. If we beat it, their morale breaks." She walked the lines, spoke to soldiers, gave orders. Daniel walked behind, watching the horizon, listening to the wind. Then the Krell came. First the dropships. They landed hard. Troops poured out. Black shells, claws, guns that spat acid. Fighting started. Shots rang. Blades clashed. Voss soldiers held. But the Krell pushed. In the middle of the chaos, A huge shape stepped forward, the Krell champion, 10 feet tall, muscles under thick armor plates, 4 arms, each held a weapon, spikes on its back, eyes glowed red. It roared, the sound shook the ground. It raised one arm, pointed at the Voss lines. Its voice boomed through a translator. "Send your best, I challenge your strongest. Face me or die, cowards." Soldiers looked at Lyrael. She gripped her blade. "Step forward." "I will." Daniel put a hand on her arm. "Gentle. Wait." She looked at him. "This is my fight." "Not today," he said. Before she could speak, Daniel walked out, past the trenches, into the open ground between the armies. The Krell champion laughed, a clicking, ugly sound. "A human? You send a soft skin? Pathetic." Daniel stopped 20 paces away, rifle down, hands loose at his sides. No fear on his face. Lyrael shouted, "Daniel, come back!" He did not turn. The champion charged, fast for its size, claws raised, dust flew. Daniel waited, still. Then he moved. He stepped left, just enough. The claw missed by inches. He rolled under the next swing, came up behind, grabbed a fallen metal rod from the ground, used it like a staff, hit the back of the champion's knee, hard. The champion stumbled, roared, turned. Daniel was already moving again. No big swings, no shouts, just quick steps, precise hits. He struck joints, weak spots under armor. The champion swung wild, missed. Daniel dodged, hit again. Elbow, wrist, neck. The fight looked easy, but it was not. Every move Daniel made was perfect timing. He breathed steady, eyes sharp. He used the ground, slid under legs, jumped off rocks, turned the champion's size against it. Lyrael watched, mouth open. Her soldiers watched too. The whole battlefield slowed. Shots stopped for a moment. All eyes on the small human and the giant monster. The champion grew angry. It charged full force, forearms swinging. Daniel waited until the last second. Then he dropped flat. The champion tripped over him, crashed face first into dirt. Daniel was up fast. He picked up the champion's dropped blade, heavy, but he swung it clean, cut through one arm joint. Green blood sprayed. The champion screamed, weaker now. 3 arms left. It lunged. Daniel sidestepped, used the blade to block, then drove it into the champion's chest, through a gap in the plates, deep. The champion froze, eyes wide, then fell, slow, like a tree. Dust rose around the body. Silence. Then cheers. Voss soldiers roared. Humans in the Allied lines shouted his name. "Daniel! Daniel!" Daniel stood over the body, breathing a little hard now. He dropped the blade, walked back to the lines. No smile, no wave, just calm steps. Lyrael ran to him, grabbed his arm. You killed it, alone." He looked at her. It was tired, angry, made mistakes. "No," she said. "You made it make mistakes. You fought like nothing I have seen." He shrugged. "Old training." The Krell lines broke. Seeing their champion fall took their will. They pulled back. Ships lifted off. Retreat. Voss troops cheered louder. They lifted Daniel on shoulders, carried him. He looked uncomfortable, but let them. Lyrael walked beside, proud. For the first time, she felt pride for him, not just respect. Back at the command post, news spread fast. Across fleets, across worlds, the quiet human husband of the princess had faced the Krell champion, and won. That night, in a small tent on the surface, Lyrael sat with Daniel. Fires burned outside, stars bright above. She looked at him. "Why did you step forward?" she asked. "You were going to," he said. "I did not want you hurt." She touched his hand, first time. "You could have died." "Could have," he said. She smiled small. "You never boast. Never ask for thanks. No need, he said. She leaned closer. I was blind. I married you thinking you were nothing. Now I see, you are everything. Strong, wise, brave. Daniel looked at her. You are strong too. You lead, you fight. I just helped. She shook her head. No, you are a champion. The galaxy will know it now. He said nothing, just looked at the stars. Lyrael felt her heart beat faster. Not from battle, from him. The war was turning. The Krell pulled back more each day. Peace talks would come soon. But for Lyrael, the real change was here, in this quiet moment, with the man she once ignored. She knew now. He was not just her husband. He was her equal, her partner, and maybe more. The night grew quiet. The fires crackled. Two people sat close. One proud princess, one reserved man. Both changed forever. The dust of Vara Prime still hung in the air like a thin fog. The suns had set, leaving the sky dark with bright stars. Fires from the battle burned low around the camp. Voss soldiers sat in groups, talking soft. Some cleaned weapons, others rested. The Krell were gone. Their ships had fled. The colony was safe. In a small command tent, Lyrael Voss sat on a low bench. Her armor was off. She wore a simple robe now. A bandage wrapped her arm where a claw had grazed her. She looked tired but strong. Her blue skin glowed faint in the lantern light. Daniel Hayes sat across from her. He had washed the dirt and blood from his face. His dark clothes were torn in places. He held a cup of water. No coffee tonight. He looked the same as always, calm, quiet. The tent flap opened. A Voss officer stepped in. Princess, the council sends word. The Krell have asked for talks. They want peace. They lost too much today. Lyrael nodded. Good. Tell them we meet in 3 days. Neutral ground. Station Harmony. The officer bowed, left. Lyrael looked at Daniel. Long silence. Then she spoke. You killed their champion. In front of everyone. My soldiers saw it. The humans saw it. Even the Krell saw it. Word will spread fast. Daniel took a slow sip of water. It was one fight. No, she said. It was more. You stepped in when I was ready to go. You could have let me fight. Let me risk my life. But you did not. He set the cup down. You are important. To your people. To the Alliance. She leaned forward. And to you? Daniel met her eyes. Yes. The word hung between them. Simple. True. Lyrael felt heat in her face. Not from battle. From him. I need to say something. I was wrong from the start. When they told me to marry a human, I thought it was a joke. A weak man. A quiet one. No fire. No pride. I thought you would stay in the background. Be a shadow. I did not ask who you were. I did not care. Daniel listened. No anger on his face. She went on. I saw you fix lights. Make coffee. Give small advice. I laughed inside. Called it human tricks. Then the spy. Then the battles. Then today. You fought like you were born for it. No fear. No waste. You ended that monster with moves I have never seen. And after, you walked back like it was nothing. She paused, voice softer. I married you without looking, without knowing. I treated you like a tool. I am sorry, Daniel. He looked at the ground for a moment, then up at her. No need for sorry. You did what you had to, for your people. But I hurt you, she said, with my thoughts, with my words. You did not hurt me, he said. I chose quiet. I chose not to show. I like it that way. Why, she asked. Why hide it? Daniel thought. I saw too much war. On Earth, places far from here. Friends died. I lived. Each time I came back, something in me got smaller. I did not want to be the hero anymore. Heroes get medals. Heroes get speeches. Heroes get asked to do it again. I wanted peace, a desk, coffee, books, no one looking at me. Lyrael reached out, touched his hand, her fingers cool against his skin. But you still did it, when it mattered. You stepped forward today. For me. For you, he said. And for the others. She held his hand tighter. I see you now. Not as a human husband for politics. As Daniel. As the man who saved my life. My pride. My heart. He did not pull away. She smiled small. First real smile since the wedding. Do you feel anything, for me? Daniel looked at her, long. Yes. Her eyes shone. Tell me. You are strong, he said. You lead. You fight. You care about your people. You are beautiful. But more than that, you listen now. You see me. That matters. Lyrael stood, moved closer. Their shoulders touched. I want this to be real, she said. Not just a treaty, not just a show. I want you with me, as my partner, my equal. Daniel turned to her. I am not royal, not Voss. I do not care, she said. I care about you. He lifted his hand, touched her cheek, gentle. Then I stay. She leaned in. Their lips met, soft at first, then deeper, like something long held back finally let go. The tent was quiet, only the crackle of fires outside. When they pulled apart, she rested her head on his shoulder. The galaxy will talk. The quiet human who killed the champion, who married the princess, who changed the war. Let them talk, he said. I do not need the words. She laughed soft. You never do. Days passed. The peace talks happened on Station Harmony. Krell leaders came, tall, insect-like. They bowed low. They agreed to borders, trade, no more attacks. Stronger now. Humans and Voss stood together. Earth ships docked beside Voss ones. People mixed, laughed, learned. Lyrael and Daniel walked the station halls, hand in hand sometimes. She wore her crown again. He wore simple clothes. But no one laughed now. Soldiers saluted him, called him champion. He nodded, said little. One evening they stood at a big window. Stars turned slow. The galaxy stretched wide. Lyrael said, I never thought this would happen. When I saw you first, quiet, plain, I thought nothing. Daniel smiled small. First time she saw it real. I thought the same. Proud princess, far above me. She squeezed his hand. We were both wrong. Yes, he said. They watched the stars. No more words needed. The war was over. Peace came. But the real victory was here, between them. A princess who learned to see. A man who chose to step out of shadows. Together. The galaxy learned something too. Not soft. Under quiet faces, they carried fire, strength, heart, and sometimes the most dangerous ones were the ones who stayed silent, until the moment came. Then they became legends. Lyrael turned to Daniel. What now? He looked at her. Whatever we want. She smiled. Good. They walked on, side by side, into the future, quiet, strong, together.